Good. I'll let you get on.
Yeah, we'll crack on now. Hello, everybody. I know there'll be more people joining us later, but we're going to start the ball rolling tonight. We are going out live on Facebook, I hope, and we're going out to the lovely people of Collingham and surrounding areas. So we're going to start the ball rolling on our hectic schedule with the Reverend Mandy Cartwright from Collingham, who's going to tell us a bit about her schedule leading into Christmas and what we can expect from the churches in Collingham and the district. Over to you, Mandy.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's nice to see you all and nice to be on here. Right, so like with everybody else, December and Christmas is very different. We've had everybody's having to do a lot of thinking about actually what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And church-wise, it's different because normally, you know, the 1st of December, you're just normally on a roll. It has its own life. You just have to, you know, set your course and keep going, really, because we normally so much happens and it has its own rhythm, and it's lovely, and you know, lots of people join in and appreciate what's happening. And it's been really different this year, and we just have to keep listening out for what we can do. So, as you know, in November we went into lockdown. We weren't allowed to have church services, and then in the week before Remembrance Sunday, we were told we could have an outdoor act of remembrance, and then be closed after that. So, and then we went into tier 3 and we were allowed to have church services. And so last Sunday we had our first Sunday services. So that's good. But we've been busy, put a lot of thought into what we can do as church for Christmas, remembering that there's no way that Christmas can be cancelled, because Christmas is Christmas and God's with us, and nothing can change that. So what's happening already is, some of you might have noticed that at All Saints Church there's a Christmas tree outside with there are different decorations being added each day, and that's actually from Beaumont House. So that's called the Light Up a Life tree from Beaumont House. And you can hang a label on there. You can write the name of someone you want to remember. They've got labels in the Beaumont House shop. You can go in and collect one from there, write a name on or a little message and hang it on that tree. There are also some knitted and homemade decorations there, which supporters of Beaumont House have made, and you can collect one. They're asking for a £1 donation, and it's just an honesty box there. So that's outside also the porch at All Saints Church every day in daylight hours. We're doing something very different on Saturday the 19th of December. So the posters are about to go up, but we're having a drive-in carol service. What we like to do at Christmas is sing carols. Yeah. So this will be held in the paddock, the field that's next to All Saints Church. It's John and Jane Wilson's field, so many thanks to them. So they're organising it. They're going to put up great lights in the field. They've already got great lights up around their house. So that's happening. So that'll be at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, December the 19th. You'll drive in through the gate off Church Lane. So there will be parking attendants. You'll just have to, follow their orders.
What they tell you. Yes.
You've got to do, because it's really got to be safe for everybody. We'll have a sound system set up. You'll get a carol sheet, and we'll just announce the carols. Stay in your cars, which is quite nice, isn't it? You can stay nice.
Have a hot chocolate while you sat there. Yeah.
Yeah. Take your hot chocolate, your mince pies, whatever you want. I'll be shivering because I'll be outside. And we'll have a good sing. So hopefully, lots of us will be able to enjoy that. And we're having midnight mass. We are having midnight mass at St John's Church. So Christmas Eve, it starts at 11:30. The paths will be lit, so we light them with candles in lanterns and jars. So all the paths will be lit. There will be the compulsory one-way system, so you'll be guided in and guided out, and you'll have to leave your contact details, etc. So we'll have midnight mass there. We won't be able to sing carols in church. If you have communion, you have communion just with the bread, not with the wine. But it will be Christmas, and we'll celebrate Christmas. But on Christmas Eve in the afternoon, there's where we're having a walk through crib service. So normally we have our afternoon crib service, which it's normally, the walls are normally stretched to fit everybody in for that. But this year, the church will be decorated. We've already got in church a tree which is from the preschool with decorations that the preschool children have made. There are going to be different scenes set up from the nativity scene. It's going to be full of candles, all on top of pillars and windowsills, so all at safe heights. Another Christmas tree, and it will end. There'll be there's the big crib scene, the big nativity scene, and everybody can light a candle there, pray a prayer, which is what normally happens at the crib service. And there'll be a goodie bag for the first 50 children to go through. So that's
nearly 60 count. There's nearly 60 count.
I might make up some special goodie bags for our age group.
Very wise, yeah. Sherbet dab, so we can't beat a sherbet dab.
Yeah. So that's what's happening.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I've just made a few notes here, and I'll try and put something on the chat so it does appear on Facebook. But I'm sure I've seen your morning pictures every day. I just love those pictures in the morning. So do carry on and update it there. Now the midnight mass is that Christmas Eve, isn't it? Sorry, I missed that. I was busy letting people in.
Thursday the 24th. Well, you go in on Christmas Eve and you come out on Wednesday.
Yeah, I never made one yet. I'm a early to bed person, me, but I'll be thinking about it. That's brilliant, really good. That sounds, what innovative plans you've got. I bet you've been sat there scratching your heads trying to think, what on earth are we going to do? But I think that sounds fabulous. Really interesting.
Yeah. But I think everybody has, hasn't they? Everybody in the village has. Yeah.
So thanks very much for coming on. Really great. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Okay. Because I know Karen, are you there, Karen? I can see you there in spirit. Has got to rush off to Parish Council. We're hoping she wanted to talk about the better broadband. Oh, is she going to come? Oh, yeah, there you go, Karen. You can have 2 minutes to do it now, you see, Karen.
Thank you. There's notices on all of the notice boards, and there's something on the parish website to get people to send in their names and addresses if they're interested in better broadband. Parish Council's working with the County Council to get this through. If anyone's like me, I really struggle on this meeting, just seeing everybody, because my Wi-Fi is rubbish. And what BT tell me I can get and what I do get are two very different things. If anybody is interested and hasn't sent a response in yet, can you please do it as soon as possible? The County Council keep badgering me every day for all of the names and addresses I've collated. So if you just go onto the collingham-nots.org.uk website, and I think it's under the news items, and then
I found it straight away from that
Yeah.
link. I'll try and post the
Yeah.
link again, Karen. It might be tomorrow, but I'll have a go at
sorry, I've
posting it
lost you,
tonight.
Stella.
Yeah, that's okay. Are you
So,
are you there now? Yeah.
Just to carry on, if anyone is interested, please let me know. All right,
Thanks,
you.
Karen. Thank you very much. I know that was just a quickie. Before we go over to Marion Birchall. Where's Marion? I've seen it. Oh, yeah, the lady with the Christmas tree. Yeah, good. And Marion will introduce herself, I'm sure, but it's from the Nottingham Hospitals, Marion, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marianne, and I'm the Corporate Fundraising Manager at Nottingham Hospitals Charity. So we fundraise, for those of you who don't know, we fundraise for the Queen's Medical Centre and the City Hospital. So that includes the Hayward House Palliative Care Service, the Children's Hospital at the Queen's Medical Centre, the Breast Institute, Trent Cardiac Centre, you know, all of the, you know, the different things that happen across our hospitals. So we fundraise for those. And just hearing about all the amazing things, you know, the adaptations and things you're doing this Christmas at the church are really amazing. And I think this year has been a really challenging year for, you know, for everyone. And we've had to come up with new innovative ways of working. And I think some of them, I think we probably keep because actually we've come up with some really low, like the driving carols is fantastic. You know, I can see people wanting to do that, you know, every year. And so as well, you know, at the NHS has been, you know, very challenging year. You know, our frontline staff have been absolutely incredible. And also as a charity, it's actually been a really hard year. Lots of our fundraising events have been cancelled. You know, lots of people that want to do the traditional sort of ways of fundraising haven't been able to do that for us. And so we've been ourselves looking at innovative ways that we can fundraise to still try and support our hospitals. And so this Christmas, for the first time, we have set up a Christmas tree recycling scheme. So that's why I've positioned myself in front of my Christmas tree, because obviously they look beautiful at this time of year. But come January, when you don't want them anymore, getting rid of them if you have a real tree can be a bit of a pain. You know, they're dropping their needles, even if you can fit them in your car to take them to the tip. You know, it's not always what you want to be doing, getting your car full of all of those pine needles. And so this year we have set up our Christmas tree recycling scheme. So for a donation of £10 to Nottingham Hospitals Charity, we will come to your home and collect the Christmas tree from outdoors, you know, from your driveway, from outside your house on the street, and we will pick that up and take it to be recycled for you. We're collecting from NG postcodes. All of the information is available on our website, which I think will you be able to share in the chat? If you've
Yes, we'll do that. Can you put it on the chat for us?
Yeah, I can pop it on the chat. Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
So yeah, for that donation, then we will come and collect it from outside of your house. From the 6th of January is when we are setting off to start to collect the trees. But they'll all be collected by the 15th. So if you leave it out on the 6th, we'll come and get it. We don't know how many trees we're going to get or anything, so it's a little bit of an unknown quantity. Obviously we'll try and collect them as soon as we possibly can. We're hoping to have, you know, loads of volunteers that are going to come out and help us do this, but at the moment we have absolutely no idea how many people are going to sign up to have their tree collected. So I don't know how close to the 6th or how close to the 15th it will be, but we definitely will be there and we'll get that for you. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, really, and giving me the chance to sort of tell you about the scheme. This is a great way of you connecting all of your community. It's such a fantastic way of getting together. So thank you so much for inviting me.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we've been doing this since the first lockdown, and the people at Gusto's, Steph Wright and his team started it off, and we were doing it weekly. But you know, come September, it was like, oh, you know, we're all busy now, so we've gone back to monthly, but it's still really, really well supported.
No,
You know?
it's such a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we've really taken away from this year and this pandemic is that real sense of community and connecting with people, even when you can't physically be together. And for some things, it's more convenient, you know, for everyone just to dip in and then, you know, leave at the end. I think it's fantastic. So thank you so much for inviting
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Hang on, I can see Mary Brown wants to ask a question. Mary, you are muted. I just thought I'd mention that.
I've unmuted.
That's it.
I think the tree idea, Marianne, is wonderful, but I passed someone near the level crossing today in Collingham, their house if I'm driving towards Collingham, it's on the right-hand side, and they're obviously selling Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me think, what about contacting those sort of people? If you could.
I have contacted lots of places that are selling trees, and this year we created a sort of a cardboard bauble in a heart shape for our charity, and I dropped them off at lots of different garden centres around the county. But again, because it was our first year doing it, we didn't know what the uptake would be, and I got 4,000 produced, and they all went really quickly. So next year I will definitely need to produce more. But yeah, thank you. It's a good idea.
Thanks, Mary. That's brilliant. We are next on our list is Julie from the medical centre, but she's often struggling to get here. So I'll pass over to my lovely colleague Hayley, who's going to give me a rest. I can start typing some of these things up on the chat now, and Hayley's going to take us forward.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
So,
anyway.
Sorry I was a little bit late. For anyone that doesn't know me, I co-host with Stella, and I also own the beauty salon in Collingham, Hayley Jane. So I sort of look after the business section. So I think we first got on, I'm not even sure if I'm going to pronounce your name right, but is it Kristen? Is that right? Kristen? From Beer Mats? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. I saw your post on Facebook, and I thought it sounded interesting. I thought it was something that is quite at this time of year, you know. So tell us about what you do.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting us to take part this evening as well. It's great to connect. Well, as we are a local brewery, so we've had lots of great messages about this time of year, and I'm going to bring it round to beer. So we've I'm based in Collingham. One of my partners is in South Skull, so we're all kind of local to this area. We've been making beer for about just over 3 years now, and we're based out in Winkburn, so closer to Southall. Way out that side. So we have this wonderful concept of, as Beer Mats Brewing Company, everything is a little bit beer mat themed. All of our beers generally have got the word mat in. So we have some wonderful Christmas beers at the moment. Reverend Mandy, I hope you will appreciate the first one, which is called Mativity. We have also Father Christmas and Frosty the Snowmat as well. So they're all part of our range of beers. I mean, the good people of Collingham have already been making some wonderful purchases of these beers. So I think, like the part of the theme of people have been talking about already this evening, this year has led to everybody changing, adapting, and in many ways going online. So as a business, as a brewery, obviously generally we were very much delivering direct to pubs. So this year it's been a bit of a annus horribilis with all of that side of things, and it's led us to adapt the business and to build the online shop and start selling direct to customers locally and also actually nationwide. So we're shipping beer across the UK at the moment with that. But obviously we've had a lot of great local support. I mean, quite often you can find our beer in, especially in the football club and cricket club when it's been able to be open, and in the Royal Oak has been taking our beer quite regularly as well, which has been fantastic. So yeah, from our perspective, obviously we do free delivery across Collingham and all the surrounding villages as well. So if anybody's interested in or needs any beer for the Christmas time, or any last minute presents, we do bottle gift packs. We do beer in a box, which is kind of like wine in a box, but just beer. Can be up to 20 litres. So we've had plenty of people purchasing 20 litres and then coming back the next week for another 20 litres. And we also do, which is more kind of craft beer in mini kegs as well. So with a little bit more of a fizz from that side. So we do kind of the real ale line, more traditional line, and also the kind of craft beer. So the more kind of hoppy IPA type beers as well. So I hope that gives you just like a little bit of a flavour.
Yeah, no, definitely. Have you got a Christmas cut-off as to when you'll be, taking orders until? Is there a cut-off, or?
When we sell out,
Right.
I think, I mean, as Marianne mentioned as well, I mean, this is our first year of kind of doing this, so it's all a little bit of an unknown. I mean, so far we've actually had far more orders than we expected, and it's been a lot busier, which is brilliant. So we've had lots and lots of local support around the Newark, Nottinghamshire whole area, which has been really, really wonderful. But yeah, I think we will be probably, if we have orders, we will be open up to Christmas Eve.
Well, I'll definitely be in touch. My husband's a real proper beer drinker, so that's given me a last minute idea. So yes, I'll definitely be in touch. Thank you for coming on as well.
No, thank you for having me on.
Okay, so I can see Julie there. Hi, nice to see you. Do you want to jump on, Julie? Are you okay to come on now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Why not? Catch me while I'm on the hop.
Yes.
So hi everybody, and Merry Christmas before I forget. I've tried to be decorative with a couple of lights in the background there. Not quite on your level though, Hayley. Very interesting. So Merry Christmas. So as we're heading into Christmas, so I'm Julie Reed from the Collingham Pharmacy and the Collingham Medical Centre. There's a few things that we just need to do to prepare. So guys, if you can make sure your first aid cabinets are well stocked and that you have everything for your self-care, that would be super. There are some details and guidelines of what is a good thing to have in your first aid box at home on our website, so by all means please have a look at that. In terms of people who are on repeat medications, if you could order, if you're due to have repeats over the Christmas period, then we are accepting early orders, so please order by Friday the 18th of December, and then we can make sure they're ready for you.
Yeah, that should be okay.
So in the opening days, we are closed on Christmas Day through to the Monday, which is I think the 28th, and reopen on the 29th.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All the information is on our doors and website, so that people can get that. Thank you, Pat. In terms of the, where are we looking now? So practice. So I've had a couple of patient suggestions. Thank you very much for the observations of one of our patients. We had omitted to add Dr. Shah and Dr. Suresh to our website. They are new doctors at the Collingham Medical Centre. Some of you will have met already. So I'm in the process of adding those, and their new headed paper to include their names and GMC registrations has arrived in practice this week. So at least then you can all be reassured they are registered medics and are staying with us permanently, which is great news. So that means we have 6 GPs who are supporting you. So we're continuing to offer telephone support in the first instance. That's telephone triage, where you would talk to a clinician to get support, and the clinician would then agree a plan with you as to what action they're going to take. Part of that plan could be to come to site. We're still operating our green, red and amber doors. So people who may be infectious are going to red. People we need to shield are going to amber, and everybody else we're asking to come in the green door. So we are asking people not to attend the medical centre unless you've been invited to do so. It's important that we stagger our footfall across the 10 to 12 hours that we have our doors open, so that we can make sure there is no more than 4 or 5 people being seen at any one time, and it reduces the risk of cross-contamination in our green areas between patients, because you never know. So repeat prescriptions can be put in the letterbox outside. You don't need to come into the building, and we can verify all IDs and do most things on telephone or by video conference. So we're continuing to do that. The flu vaccination. So I did say last time, as soon as we started to receive our deliveries, we would send out texts for our 50 to 64-year-olds. We have had our first delivery. We've delivered some of those vaccines to patients last Saturday, and there are more clinics lined up in January. We're expecting another delivery today, which didn't come, but or tomorrow. So one expects it to be on site tomorrow. The uptake so far has been great. It's about 40% of the cohort have already booked appointments for their flu vaccination. So we're looking like we will, as usual, exceed the local averages and have a good uptake of that vaccine programme. So other vaccine programmes you will have heard is COVID vaccines. We are receiving a lot of calls around COVID vaccine. We're not yet in a position to be able to offer that or book appointments. Exactly the same as the 50 to 64-year-olds campaign for the flu. We will wait until we've got confirmation of delivery schedules and that the vaccine is coming. There are vaccines in Nottinghamshire. They are being administered, and they are being administered to the most vulnerable first. So it is unlikely that we will see many in this area this side of Christmas, because there's quite a big cohort to do first. There will be a mass vaccination site in Newark. So a lot of the, as we talked about before, this first vaccine that's been approved by the regulatory body is most suited to mass vaccination sites. The next few that are about to go through regulatory approval are more likely to be suited to be able to deliver out in the community and primary care a bit more. So we hope to be able to do that when they come up. And I don't know if I dare now, but I wanted to be all Christmassy. So I've got a Christmas joke. It's really bad, but I don't. I suppose the worse the Christmas joke is, the better. So why did the Brussels sprout be sent to prison?
I don't know. Why did the Brussels sprout be sent to prison?
Because he was a repeat offender.
Oh,
I am so sorry, but I felt I had to end on a Christmas joke. Has anybody any questions for us?
that was really good. You'll see them all by email, Julie. We'll send them all your way. I do have your email. That was really, really interesting. I'm scribbling it all down so I can put little précis on the site later when I get a minute and I can spell properly.
Thank you, Julie, and for that joke. That was one of the best I've heard yet, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure there's better to come.
Okay, so I think next we have Hannah from the Body Shop. Is that right? Yeah, Hannah, I can see you there. Yeah, hi, hello. You've come on to chat to us about what you do, so go ahead.
So hi, thanks for inviting me. So people will probably know me and others probably not. I am selling Body Shop at home. So essentially access to all Body Shop products, but from somebody local in the community. So I'm not actually in Collingham, I'm based out at South Clifton, but I do deliver out to all the villages free of charge. I took it up just during lockdown, really, because obviously trying to get hold of things and not being able to go out, and yeah, nightmare. But it's been great. It's been a nice sort of little sideline and something to keep me going while I was actually on furlough during the time. So I sell everything essentially that you would get in the shop. If you're interested, you can look on my Facebook page, which I can send you guys through a link to. I've also got catalogues for anybody that likes the paper method and would like a catalogue, and I get those sort of 4 times a year, so I can pop catalogues through at any point to anybody that would like them. I'm happy for anybody to reach out to me via email, via text messages, via the Facebook group. I generally put in orders a couple of times a month. I don't tend to put in orders unless I've got orders coming in, and I don't tend to hold a lot of stock. That was my kind of one thing when I set up doing this. If people are interested in things, I just purchase for you guys at the time. But for you guys, it does mean that there is discount generally on what you would pay from shop value. So it's anywhere between, normally there's a sort of standard 10%, and it goes to sort of 20 and 25% depending on what you're buying, what you're interested in. So yeah, that's really me, I guess.
Yeah, we used to, I mean, do they still have body shops? Do they still have shops on the high street, or has that all ended now?
No, there is still body shop on the high street. To be fair, it's really suffered.
Yeah.
So obviously, like everything has, they were forced to close down. And like with the festive period stuff, we were due to get a sort of 50% share. So there's sort of body shop at home and then body shop. We would have got a 50% share of stock for the Christmas festive period. When the second lockdown hit and they closed all the stores down again, the majority of stock came over to Body Shop at Home because we could still sell when other people can't. And it, in a sense, it's been great because, you know, I can go to people's doors, knock, do a drop off, and they've paid, you know, people can pay me cash if they want to, but if you want a contactless delivery and a COVID safe delivery, I can knock, put it on your doorstep, walk away, and you can just pick it up and be done with it from that perspective. So I think there's been more uptake of this during COVID, and I've seen a massive uptake, to be fair, fairly locally. Like, people do seem quite interested because we've been able to get hold of, you know, your soaps and your sanitizers and your hand washes, things that have been more difficult to purchase. So yeah, it is still around, but just not very accessible, I don't think, at the moment, not for many.
No, and I think people have their favourites from certain shops, and I know that there's a few favourites in Body Shop. I know Linda, who helps us out, I know she's got a few favourites as well. So, but no, it's great to keep the flag flying. So thank you for coming on and
no, thank you,
and sharing with us. So I think before I start blabbering on about my business, I think we've got a few slides, have we, Stella, to put up? No. Yeah, no. I think we have. If we haven't, I can start. Oh, yep, here we go. So these slides, Stella, I'm guessing these are things that we need. The Collingham food pantry. Yeah, so
sorry Hayley, I've got myself muted. Yeah,
things that they need they're short of, that they're in need of. So rather than us just reading off the list, you know, you can see there clear things that they're wanting more of, because I think Sarah was going to come on, wasn't she, and chat through this. So so the food pantry, for those that aren't aware, is still, you know, going, isn't it? Still running, and there's still things that are needed. I think they asked about this last time. So obviously your typical items that you'd expect. So yeah, any other, have we got any, was there another slide there we needed to pop on?
Yeah, no, this is about the preschool. We'll do that later.
Oh yeah, okay.
Now I know I can do that.
Oh, clever. Clever. So I just, you know, briefly, basically, so beauty salons, as you may be not aware, we were closed again for the second time. In Nottinghamshire, we were closed before the national lockdown because we were in tier 3. So we reopened last Thursday with 3 weeks left to Christmas, with 6 weeks worth of clients to fit in. So as you can imagine, we are very, very busy. So there is myself, Donna and Vicky that work in Hayley Jane, just off the high street. So we've got a very few amount of appointments left, but we're trying our best to get everybody in, because we are working a bit of a backlog, but we're trying to do that as safely as we can. And we're hoping that we have got to everybody that we'd normally see. We are, like I say, working extra hours, and we are working in between Christmas and New Year as well. So, but if we are, if we are full, please don't hesitate to contact us via email or give us a call, because we might be able to fit you in. So also as well, we are doing gift vouchers, or we can drop them off, we can deliver them, send them to the recipient. And yeah, so for us, obviously, like all beauty salons and hairdressers, it's been quite a testing time, but we're super happy to be open, to get everybody done before Christmas, because our fear was, he was going to not allow us to reopen. So and as always, we are COVID secure, and as everybody feels super safe when they come in, and it's nice to be able to give everybody that treat before Christmas, because they need it more than ever. So yeah, so we're really enjoying Christmas this year. It's an amazing time to be in salon, but it's even more special this year because we weren't sure whether we were going to get to do it. So enough of my rabbiting on about my business. I'll pass back over to Stella now, just to do some community stuff. So, but thank you for all businesses that came on as well.
Yeah, thanks, businesses. We've got next the lovely Jessica, who's going to talk about the Eagle Book Swap. And the Eagle Book Swap is something I see on Facebook all the time, and I keep thinking I really must come and swap some books. I do cycle that way now and again, and it'd be very interesting. So tell us about the Eagle Book Swap.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I run Eagle Book Swap, which is a free local service. Although it's called Eagle, you are very welcome to attend if you don't happen to live here. I'm ex-Collingham myself, so very fond of Collingham people coming in particular. I set the book swap up at the beginning of the first lockdown because, like so many of us, I wanted to do something to serve the community and to help out. And in Eagle, we're not as lucky as Collingham. We don't even have a small library. We have a mobile library van that comes once a month, which stopped coming. So if you couldn't get out the village, you were pretty stuck as a reader. For me, as I would say an avid reader until I had 2 small children, but I used to be a very avid reader. And for me, it's a way of escaping from what's going on in the news and also passing the time. We suddenly found we had a lot more time on our hands. So we started with about 20 books in April, and now we have about 250 books every week, which we run. We have fiction books, we have non-fiction, we have audio books, we have DVDs, we have magazines, and I have a brilliant selection of children's books. So really a bit of everything. The non-fiction, we have a lot of gardeners, we have a lot of cooks in the village. So we have a really nice selection. And you are welcome to borrow as much or as little as you want. Some people come once a month and stock up, some come every week, because it's quite a nice rhythm to the week when we've lost other things that we might be doing. It is called a book swap, so the idea is that you donate as well as picking up if you can, and we welcome donations of books that are fairly modern and in good condition, so we'll withstand a few borrows. We do it in a COVID secure way, so anything you drop off is quarantined until the next week, and everyone uses hand sanitizer before and after touching the books. It's held in my garage, so terribly glamorous, but it does make us weatherproof, and it means that it's a small space, but we're open for 3 hours. I'll give you the details in a minute, and we typically get 20 or 30 people over that time, so you're generally the only one there, so it's a very safe thing to do. What I've been really struck by, so I try to chat to people and find out why they come. A lot of people have said to me, this has been a real lifeline for me during lockdown. It's been something to do. I've tried new authors I wouldn't necessarily have tried otherwise. And what I particularly love is the grandparents who come every week and they get children's books and they keep in touch with their grandchildren by reading stories over Zoom, which I just think is such a lovely way of using technology to keep in touch with your family at this very tough time. So you're welcome, grandparents, to come and borrow as many children's books as you like until you find what your grandchildren like. So in summary, we are open every Friday from 9:30 until 12:30, and we're at 58 High Street in Eagle, which is just opposite Scarl Lane, if you know the village, the top end near Lincoln. Now, the timing of tonight is very unfortunate because tomorrow is the only day in about the last 17 weeks I'm afraid we're not open. That's simply because I need to buy my children some Christmas presents before they finish school. But other than that, every single Friday we're here. We will be here next week, and it would be lovely to see some of you there. So 9:30 to 12:30, 58 High Street in Eagle. Thank you very much.
That's brilliant, Jessica. Thanks very much. And if you could just pop a couple of those little details on the chat, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Next on my list is Collingham Village Care, but I don't see anybody here from Collingham Village Care unless anybody's going to pop up and say I'm doing it today.
I think Hills is coming on, but
yeah, we'll crack on and see how we go. So, Richard Parker, it's your big moment now. Can you unmute yourself? I think I muted you earlier, so I might have to do it now.
There we go.
Oh, fabulous. So Richard's going to talk about the Norton Disney Villa Farm Archaeological Dig. And he's got 10 minutes to do that.
Oh, I've got a long time. Okay.
But you don't have to fill that. Don't be worried about it.
Okay, well, hopefully you can see through the glue. Just to introduce myself, I'm the secretary of the Norton Disney History and Archaeology Group, and we've been going for about 2 years now. And over a period of time, we've done a lot of research about the archaeology at the Roman Villa, about the Roman Villa and its surrounding archaeology. And really, we started off because of the threat, the existential threat, really, from the rendering plant application, which I'm sure a lot of you were aware of. But we carried on, and that planning application was kicked into touch in February. But we've done a lot of things. We've done some field walking, we've done some test pits. The key thing we've tried to do is a thing called geophysics, which you might have seen on Time Team, where they walk across fields and find out what's under the ground. So we've done an awful lot of that. And we really are funded by the community. We've had a lot of community support. And what I've tried to find out is really what is the underlying archaeology. Now, Collingham and Norton Disney actually share quite a lot in common. We've actually got a tiny bit of Collingham on our side of the road, a bit called Gallows Nooking Common. And some of you probably heard of North Scaffold Lane as well. Well, probably a lot to do with the Disney family executing people at some point along the road there. There's probably a little warning sign, welcome to Lincolnshire, don't stray from the road. But the history is really quite interesting because that is actually an Iron Age ditch that goes along there. And it's a boundary ditch that looks like it's been extended and reused over a long period of time. The Roman Villa is not far from that, and if you know where Folly Lake is, go along, come out of Potters Hill Road, turn right to go to Newark, and we're the first turning on the left as you come just past Hillholt Wood. And the Roman Villa is just in there, big field, second gateway as you go up there, and that's a scheduled ancient monument. Back in 1934, when they found it, the archaeologists at the time did a little bit of a dig there, didn't do a huge amount, but all the finds ended up at Newark Museum. And strangely enough, if you go down to the museum store at Brunel Drive, where the council depot is, in normal times you can make an appointment and go and see the remains of the Roman villa that came out of the field. There's all sorts of things to go and have a look at, including mosaics and a lot of pottery and lots of other things as well. So when the rendering plant came along, they didn't realise, apparently, when they bought the land there, that they had a Roman villa and had a scheduled ancient monument. And a scheduled ancient monument is a nationally important site, same status as Stonehenge. But the area that was scheduled was a little tiny square about 70 feet across where they did the dig back in 1934. And what our archaeology group has managed to do through research, through doing the geophysics and all the other bits and pieces that we've done, is that we convinced Historic England back in August that actually all of the archaeology was much wider around the bit that they'd scheduled, and they've now scheduled the whole of Abbey, what's known as Abbey Field, which is the entire field where the Roman villa is now. So that's a big achievement. And then this year, not long after we achieved the scheduling of the villa in a much larger area, we've then done some more geophysics, and we found a lot more Iron Age remains than we anticipated, which is really interesting. And one of the things people joke about is Norton Disney I call an Iron Age Scunthorpe, because actually they were making iron in Norton Disney 2,000 years ago, 2,000 plus years ago, by building big chimney pots and using charcoal and using this material called bog iron, which is kind of naturally occurring iron that comes out of the groundwater, mixing it all up in these big chimney pots and producing some very rudimentary types of iron. And this is going to be completely unknown about, but we were quite an industrial site at the time by the looks of the remains that we found all over the place. Now, the really exciting thing that we're now doing is we've launched a fundraising prospectus to do some more geophysics, which we managed to raise the money for in 9 days. And we've commissioned another set, and we've now worked out where there are 2 boundaries of the Roman villa. And then in the new year, we're just in the process of organising an archaeological dig with Allen Archaeology, who are a big local commercial archaeology company. And we're going to put some trenches in just off Folly Lane, right alongside where the Roman villa is, because we've identified through some geophysics some really interesting archaeology, which we really would like to find out what is going on there. And Allen archaeologists are really quite interested in what's going on in the wider site. So again, bit of fundraising. We've had a £1,000 donation from Norton Disney Parish Council, which is very, very helpful. We've had local businesses give us some money. We've got Embryo Fisheries, who are the fishing people down at the quarries in Norton Disney. They're loaning us a digger, a 13-ton digger, and a driver and some fuel for 2 days to do this time team type dig. And then we've also got another company from Langford who are loaning us a low loader to take the digger from the quarries up to Folly Lane and back again. So we've had quite a lot of, and that's saving us an awful lot of money as well. But we're still having to fundraise because we've got various things to pay for, not just the archaeologists on the day, but if we find things, we've got to process those finds. And we've got some report writing to do, and there's bound to be a contingency we've got to have in place as well. So we've launched a GoFundMe. We've raised probably the best part of £1,000 off the GoFundMe, which has been really exciting. We've now got a promotional video, and we've got a fundraising prospectus as well. And if we can continue in this vein, we're also hoping to do a little bit more geophysics down where the wind turbine is as well, because we found lots of exciting archaeology down there as well. And so when you start off, you make a small hole, you then find it needs to get bigger and bigger. And so the archaeology at Norton Disney is absolutely huge, both Roman, centered around the Roman villa, and certainly further down towards the wind turbine as well. And most of you will probably known at Brough, where there was a Roman town. Yeah. There's lots of links down there as well. So we've got a really fantastic site. We've got a Roman villa. We're probably, I suppose you could class us as the friends of the Roman villa because we've defended it. We've highlighted how important it is. We've got the support of Historic England, who've moved the boundaries, the legal boundaries of the villa as well, which is really helpful as well. But clearly, one of the key things we're worried about is if the rendering planning application comes back, because it will be an existential threat to the historic landscape. And that was one of the reasons the planning application was thrown out, was because of the historic landscape that we've got, both Iron Age and Roman. But we've also got lots of Bronze Age stuff as well that has come out of ground historically. And strangely enough, ends up down at Newark as well. So I think, Newark and Collingham and Norton Disney, we've all shared stuff over the years. And it's a really exciting time to be doing archaeology at Norton Disney. We've made contact with the Collingham history group as well. I'm coming along to their AGM virtually in February as well to talk to them a little bit more about the history of the Roman villa as well. I probably could go on for hours. I don't want to bore you to death.
Come on again in the new year, Richard, when you've got some more finds. Bring some to show us.
Oh, I've got a shed. I joke about my shed because it's full of archaeology at the moment. Roman roof tiles and bits of brick and all sorts of stuff. But yes, very willing to share that. We've got a Facebook group, a Facebook page rather. We've got a Twitter feed as well, which we keep posting stuff up. As I said, we've got the GoFundMe as well. So we're still looking for individuals to make us little donations or any local businesses that want to get behind us as well. So if anybody's interested, I can do a little chat and put the details up.
Yeah,
of
that'd be brilliant.
everything.
Yeah, put it on the chat for us. And
but it really is, you know, most people don't realise the villa's there. Now they realise the villa's there, you know, they find out there's an awful lot more to it as well. I mean, you name it, we've got it, you know.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Richard. That was really interesting. I knew there was
Thanks,
stuff going
Richard.
on over the other side of the A46, but you know, it's over there, isn't it? But I'll definitely pay much more interest in it now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, really, really interesting. So thanks very much. And yes, you know, we'll look for you coming on in the new year, and hopefully, you know, we might even be able to have a site visit. You never know, do you?
Well, yes, we can do a socially distanced site visit.
Yeah. Well,
there's no
that's
problem at
fabulous.
all.
That's
Yeah.
We'll have to do Collingham community on tour, won't we?
Yeah. Now there we go, Hayley. You know, we've got a job for life now. Okay, thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
I see Hills Carmichael slid in under the net
She's
there.
slipped in, yeah. She's arrived.
Apologies, everybody. So, so I'm here for just a quick turn around Collingham District Care. So we are the transport service which helps people to get to hospitals, opticians, dentists, and pretty much anywhere else they want to go to. And I just thought I'd give you a very quick update, really, and maybe end up with a bit of goss about if you've got to go to some of the hospitals, which ones have currently got their barriers up, so they're not going to cost you lots of money. So around about this time last year, we were running at something like 300 trips a month. And obviously, because of the way that things have been going, we are currently in the region of something like 200. So we've moved up from at the start of lockdown. I think we had something like 179 trips. So things are really starting to pick up, and I'm pleased to say, and thank you so much to anyone who would have shared a post that we've had on Facebook, that we are now taking on some new drivers. So people have stepped up and they've really embraced the fact that they can, including Stella. Be right, Stella. One door closes, another one opens. And actually now it's not, you know, you haven't got to commit to 1 day a week for the rest of your life. We've really embraced flexible working. So one of the things that we've noticed is that some of the drivers that are coming up now, they're working from home. It's really awful because there isn't anyone else to talk to. So actually doing village care is a great way of meeting new people. And it's not at all onerous. So I'd just like to shout out really to Suzanne, Stella, Ian and Anne who've come to join us. We're just really chuffed to bits with that. Now our core work remains the same. It's to do with taking people to hospital, taking them to the medical centre in particular, and also to the dentists and the opticians. If we can do anything else outside of that, we will do our best. But if there's anyone else who's sitting on the fence as a driver or potentially as a driver, come on down, have a chat with us. We don't care, just come and have a little flash out, see whether it would work for you. That'd be amazing. So some of the other things that we've been up to, if I give you a quick peek into what we've been doing, if you're the kind of person who is on a regular prescription and needs to pick that up from a pharmacy, we can do that for you too. We've got some volunteers who are on pedal bikes, they're on Shanks Pony, we're driving the car as well, and it won't cost you a penny. So if that's something you want to come and, or you want to do, or you want to let your loved ones know about, then please do. We are doing that. All you have to do is just get in touch with us. The other thing we're doing on a Tuesday is we are doing deliveries from the food bank to families in the area. And if apologies, you know, if you haven't already not aware of it, the food bank is seeing increased, increased demand. So it's really, really vital. Around about this time where we're getting lots of people made redundancies, people are really starting to feel the pinch, and they're a fantastic organisation to support. The other thing we've been up to is the wonderful children of John Blow's school have been writing Christmas cards, like you wouldn't believe it, in order to send it out to lonely and isolated people. So we've been making sure that they've been dropped off. And if you're wondering if there's no place to park your bottom, as somebody said to me, oh, I don't believe it, the government have taken away the benches. It's all to do with social isolation, they won't let you sit there. It's not, it's because we're getting them refurbished. Okay, so calm down on that rumour. That's just part of one of the other things that the village care have to do. And after the Swiss Stop tour, I just wanted to let you know that currently, if you've got to go privately to Kingsmill or to Lincoln, at the moment they've got their barriers up, which means that you can probably park there for nothing. But a word of warning, and every single hospital in the area is different, and some of our drivers have been a little bit caught short, I have to say, and that is that Lincoln, Grantham and Boston hospitals have all got an ANPR, automated number plate reader system. So you think, oh, there's no barriers, you drive in regardless, and then a few days later you get a lovely letter with a fine attached to it. So please, 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 if you're going to Lincoln, Grantham or Boston, do check. And I think that's pretty much the roundup in the news.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Hills. Thank you very much. We're going to talk about the preschool very shortly, probably next, I think, because they've asked us to put a little plea out for their things at the moment. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks very much, Hills.
Okay, thank you.
So this is where I'm going to just try and share my screen again with greater or just a couple of other things there. You can see I've tried to put together some of them. Let's go and let's have it make it pretty, shall we see if that works. So the Collingham District Preschool, they did come and talk to us the other day about various competitions they're having. You see the one on the left here, that's actually closing today. I'm not sure whether they extended it or not. But that's the working with the virtual Father Christmas experience. But we did say we would talk about it just to show the fabulous stuff they're doing. The other thing is their Christmas window competition. All this has been on the village Facebook pages, but £5 to enter there. Lots of prizes. You can get an entry form online or by email, and the winners are going to be announced on the 19th of December. And lastly which is one I can't see very well because I've got to put my picture in front of it, but it's the letter from Santa Claus. So paid £3 to the preschool account, and all the information's there. Again, all this is on their Facebook site, and they write a letter to Father Christmas, including the names and the ages. And there is a North Pole mailbox at the one stop, and wait for your reply there. So they couldn't get on themselves today, so I said we would be happy, or Linda said we'd be happy to do a shout out. The next group we've got to do a shout out for, lots more lovely pictures, is the Collingham Fire Station. Wayne Brooks contacted me yesterday to say, oh, we've put the decorations up early and they're looking really beautiful in the darkness. But what's happened is they're in a competition now with the Newark and Southall fire stations for the nicest Christmas lights. And from Monday, you'll be able to go on to the Fire and Rescue site, Facebook site, and vote for which is best. And Wayne Brooks did say, do come along, have a walk round Baptist Lane when it's dark, because they look really stunning. So very sad for, well, not sad for me, but I've moved from being nearly next door there and seeing those every day. So I'm going to make a big effort and walk down there to see those. So there's just another one there, and there's the last one there. So yeah, they do absolutely look lovely. So I'll be down there. So I think, Hayley, is that everybody? Just waiting for our final fling, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything covered that I can think of.
Breaking it down, 1929, we're getting there. So over now to my lovely neighbour Jean, and I believe Thomas has, she came around to tell me Thomas has done a video, so I'm hoping he'll be able to share that for us. So over to you, Jean, to close this December conversation, and we're going to be seeing you in the new year. I think we said the 15th, Hayley, if I remember correctly.
Looking back 1 year, was it true? Chinese whispers, a PM without a clue. He thought it was the flu, didn't know what to do. Now he's feeling blue. Lockdown life, rules and regulations, thousands dying across my nation. Key workers, a standing ovation, no hugs, no kisses at Collingham station. It's no joke, no royal oak, no school, no hall, no church pews, all replaced by food queues. I'm not going to take this all alone. Going to get into the high-tech zone. Twitter, Insta, WhatsApp, Zoom. Out of my way, kids. Make some room. Trapped in vegetation, then from our segregation came Collingham conversation, spread across the nation. I do my bit, jeans jingle, because I ain't ready to meet Mr. Tingle. Check in from Co-op, food bank, boost station, neighbour to neighbour, that's our mission. We'll be together on Christmas Day, not in the pre-COVID way. Bells will ring out our festival cheer. Yes, let's make 21 a happy new year.
That was fabulous. That was fabulous. Yeah, we should have the words to that, Jean, and I'll stick them on the website. I'll nip round.
Yeah,
that would be
perfect.
brilliant.
Perfect way to end the Collingham community for this year.
Yeah,
really, really, really good.
Lovely.
So I'm sure Hayley and Linda, who's busy parish counselling, she does all the organising. We just sit here, don't we, Hayley? Really?
We do, yes, yeah. And it was Steph that put all this together, Steph Wright. So we've just been passed the baton. We didn't start it all, you know. We've just been passed over a brilliant thing. So, and that was a great. And there he is, the man himself. I wondered if he was going to pop up at the end.
Oh, such a shame that the screen share didn't work, Tom.
Yeah,
I know you put a really good video together for it.
Oh no, screen share didn't work.
Well,
no, it didn't come
No.
through, Tom.
Do you know what? We'll have it on again. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we will.
The sound came through, but not the screen share. So it's a shame.
No, it was brilliant.
Let's make sure that it goes out on Facebook, and then people can see it. So we'll get it out on Facebook.
So feel magic now.
Yeah.
We'll make that happen. So happy Christmas to everybody, and brilliant job done by you guys, Hayley and Stella, and everybody else that contributes. So have a brilliant Christmas break.
We will, thank you, and thanks to all the contributors. Get it right, and do remember to look at all these lovely people's Facebook sites, websites. That come on and talk to make it worthwhile, and we'll encourage a new group of people to come in the new year to keep us interested. Don't forget to look at support the things for the preschool, drive-in carol service at the church, and the fire brigade's lovely lights. Oh, my cat's come now as well, just to see what the fuss is all about. So I'm sure Hayley will join with me wishing you all a happy Christmas, and let's hope it's a flipping better year next year.
Yep, here.
Good
Merry
night,
Christmas,
everybody.
everyone. Good night.
Bye.
They didn't get